Right, let's convert this mixed fraction into only fraction form. What's the way that we should start with question 1? Well, first way is to think, what is 12 multiplied by 7? Well, 12 sevens are 84, step 1, and then we add those 84 that we've just made up here with the 6 up there, giving us 92 sevenths. So 84 plus 6 giving us 97s. So we get 97ths is the conversion of the mixed fraction to the fraction form. 12 sevens are 84, 84 plus 6, 90, 97s. Then we have 76 sevenths, and we now want to convert this to mixed form. We start with saying how many times does 7 go into 70? 10 times, none left over. 6 into 7s, 10 times, none left over, and then we have 6 sevenths left over. So that is the mixed form of that fraction. Now we have some fraction percentage decimal conversions. To go from 87.5% back to the decimal form, we divide by 100, which will give us the decimal form of 0.875. But it says here that we have to round off all our decimals to 2 decimal places. So we need to chop here. Look at the number after where we're going to chop. It's a 5, which is higher than 4. So we round off to 0.88. So to 2 decimal places, 0.875 is 0.88. Then to convert the decimal form to the fraction, well, we need the real decimal, not the rounded off one, 875 1,000ths. And then we can divide top and bottom by 5 several times, giving us 175 200ths, 175 200ths, which we can then simplify by dividing top and bottom again by 5 to give us 35 40ths, and then again by 5 to give us 7/8. So the fraction form of the decimal 0.875 is 7/8. Then we have 2/3. Well, if we convert 2/3 to its decimal form, 3's into 2 goes 0 times, and those 2 are left over. Decimal point in the same place. 3's into 20 now goes 6 times. The 6 3's are 18, and we had 20, so there's 2 left over. So we're going to get, it's going to be 0.666 recurring. So it's going to go on and on forever. And if we are to approximate that to 2 decimal places using our squarely equal sign, we would have 0.6. We want to chop here, so we look at the number after. It's a 6 that's bigger than a 4, so this one goes up to 1. 1 plus, so 0.67 instead of saying as 0.66. As a percentage, it would be 66.6% recurring. We'd need to look at the number after where we need to chop, and we need to chop after 1 decimal place. Look at the number afterwards, it's a 6. It's going to be approximately the same as 66.7%. So important thing here when you're rounding off and rounding up is always work out the decimal number after where you want to chop, and then just look at that number. If this number is larger than is a 5 or larger, then the number where you've done the chop moves up 1. If it's a 4 or lower, then you don't do anything and the decimal place stays the same. Let's have a look then at 0.71. Well, to change a decimal to a percent, we will multiply by 100, giving us 71%. To change it from a decimal to a fraction, we look at the last number here, which is hundredths, and we change that decimal into its fraction form, which is 71 100ths. Now 71 is a prime number, so we don't need to know that, but you can have a look that you can't divide by 2's, you can't divide 71 by 3, 5's won't go, 6's won't go, 7's won't go, 9 won't go. So you can work out fairly easy that this is a prime number, it won't be simplified anymore. To add up these fractions, you can't add them up as they are. You don't have the same denominator, so you need to get the same denominator on all of the fractions. So you multiply this fraction by the 4 on top and bottom, it will give you 8/12. And if you multiply this fraction by 3, you will also get 12ths. So you multiply each of the fractions by the opposite fraction. So this one, the 4, you multiply by top and bottom by 3 to give us 12 down here. And the 3, we multiply top and bottom by 4 to give us also 12 down there. Because now we have 12ths in both of our denominators. And now when you've done that, you can add fractions. What do we do with the denominator? Well, that stays the same after our addition, so we don't add 12 and 12, we just keep the denominator the same. We're adding 8/12 and 3/12. How many 12ths will we get if we do that? We will get 8 plus 3, which will give us 11/12. So when we add these two fractions together, we get 11/12. Multiplying fractions is super easy. We just look at the top two numbers and multiply them together. 2 multiplied by 3 gives us 6. Then we look at the bottom two numbers and multiply them together. 7 multiplied by 5 gives us 35. So the answer to this is 6/35. And that's how we should do these basic decimal fractions, mixed fractions, percentage conversions.